Now we discuss about the JSP implicit objects. Previous class we already discussed the JSP directives. And, so JSP component server, JSP directive server. Now we discuss about the implicit objects. So there are different implicit objects are there: request, response, session, config, application. Request, response, session, config, application, page, exception, out, and page context. There are some 9 variables are used in the service method of the generic servlet. They are implicitly made by the JSP without need of declaring them. For this one, we don't need the declaration. They are implicitly made. This one. These known as the implicit variables or implicit objects. So there are no need to declare this one. They are made implicitly. Like 9 objects are there. Use this one. The next programs. So first, what is request object? This is object of type java x.servlet.http request. HTTP request type, this one. It refers to the current request to the JSP page. The JSP page it sends the request command. So by using this request object, we can capture the client data. For example, in the scriptlet, we take this one: string name equal to request.parameter, get parameter HTML text box name. String name equal to request.get parameter HTML text box name. Here we send the request to the request method is this one. Request method is get parameter method. We take get parameter. In this one, we take HTML text box name. Okay. Like username, like this thing. Next, response. Object is of type HTTP response type. This one is used to sending the response to the client. From server to client, we use the response. From client to server, we use the request. Client sends the request to server. For this one, we use this request object. Next, session. The object is of type HTTP session and it is not available in the JSP. So if the session is not there, we can use page session equal to false at the rate of page directive. So here, if the session is made, we call the method get session on the request object. So in the session tracking we use the JSP object. Next, configuration. So this is of type of servlet config. So the parameters apply from the web.xml. We can retrieve using the object config parameters. Servlet configuration we can do. The example for this one is string parameter value equal to config.getIn parameter name close. Next, application object. So this is the application. This is the object of type Java Servlet context. Application is of servlet context type and refers to the environment to which JSP belongs. So with this object we can retrieve the application level state. So here all the components JSPs servlets are running on the same application. This is of a servlet context type application. This is the application object. It refers to the JSP environment belongs. This is of application level state. So in the servlets are JSPs, all these are stored in this application servlet context object. Application object. So here we take one application method string value equal to casting string application dot get attribute name. Here we call the attribute to get the attribute, and then page object. This is a object of lang object, Java lang dot object. This is from the object class. Instance of generic servlet. Next exception. Next, this is of exception is from throwable class. Page from object class. Application is from servlet context. Exception is from throwable, Java lang dot throwable, and it is not available to all JSP pages. The pages which have designed to error pages, these are available. You can access the object. So how to handle the errors we can use. Hash @page is error page true. Hash @page is error page equal to true if your exception is handling. Next one is out object. The object is of type Java Start Service JSP writer. This is of JSP writer. You print the values. So it refers to the output stream of the page. It refers to output stream. It is from the JSP writer for printing the output values. Next, page context. This is of JSP.page context class is the most important implicit object page context. It refers to the page environment. The object does three things. It does three things. It stored the reference to implicit objects. The implicit object reference can be stored in the page context, and we supply implicit objects. The helper class can retrieve the implicit by calling the get method. Helper class by calling the get method. On the page context object, here the context, we use the context. Servlet context is the context object equal to page context dot get servlet context. Page context dot get servlet context. We use the get servlet context method, and then servlet config the config object equal to page context dot get config. Here get config, and next get session, HTTP session equal to get page context dot get session. Next HTTP request equal to page context dot get servlet request. Here. So here we take so next one is it provides the get and set attributes of different scopes, and it provides the methods like include and forward. Page context provide methods include method, forward method, include the string relevant, forward string relevant, like this, and then use the get servlet request and get config, get session, all the things by using this page context. So in the page context there are different methods are there, like get servlet context. We get the servlet context by using the page context, and get config, get session, get service request, and include, forward, all these things. Next, life cycle of JSP page. JSP page life cycle. So when we call the JSP page first time, access first time, response is very slower, because every JSP must have converted into servlet class, and it uses service for the client request for each request. So JSP engine check the timestamps for the JSP page, and the corresponding servlet class determine the JSP page is new or it is already converted to the class. So if you modify the JSP page, it can convert again to the servlet class. So process consists of the different phases. First is page translation, and then page compilation, then generated servlet class loading, and then servlet instantiation phase, and then calling the JSP init is known as the installation phase, and calling JSP service is known as the service phase. JSP init is known as the installation phase, service is known as service phase. So here calling JSP destroy method is known as the destruction phase. So here 4 phases are there: life cycle, JSP init, JSP service, JSP destroy. Next, translation phase. So in the translation phase, JSP engine reads the JSP page and parts it. It validates the syntax of the tag. Once the validations are completed, the engine creates the Java source code and contain the public servlet class. The translation: JSP reads the JSP engine read the JSP page, parse the value, validate the syntax, validate the syntax of the tag. Once the validation completed, engine creates the Java code, contain the servlet class. The translation: it will validate and then create the Java source code, contain servlet class. The compilation phase. Compilation is unit generated by the previous one only. Previous phase, this Java source code file is compiled. The result of compilation is the class file. We generate class file for the servlet. Next, instantiation phase. Next, so here servlet class loaded dynamically, and the servlet engine creates the servlet instance. So next, lifecycle methods of JSP. There are different phases previously: translation, compilation, instantiation. Next, lifecycle. So here the servlet implements this HTTP JSP page, which is the interface of JSP page interface. So JSP page extends the servlet interface. JSP servlet.servlet interface refers to the two methods, JSP init and JSP destroy, and JSP service method. So lifecycle contains JSP init, JSP destroy, and JSP service method. So in the first one, init phase, the init the container calls the method to initialize the servlet instance, servlet object. To initialize the servlet object, we use the init method. It called before the other method and is called only once. It called only once in the whole program. So the initialization is public void JSP init. The code resource allocation code is there. Next, service phase. In the service phase, it is called by the container every time the request comes from the JSP. For every time request comes from the JSP, it called the container. So here the template test JSP expressions, JSP scriptlets are inserted into this method. The service phase, JSP, all the code is there, JSP expression, scriptlets, all these things. During the page translation time. Next phase is destruction phase. When the constructor is instructed to take the servlet instance out of service. Here. So here in the destruction phase we can use the JSP destroy method. So this is the resource deallocation code here. This is the last method of the servlet. This method not require the overridden. Okay, subscribe to my channel Tech Education by PVK and my remaining channels Guitar Play Game, PVK Gamer, all these things.